John TheMorgile here, coming to you live from Greenville, South Carolina. Today is Skull and Bones Day. Can you believe it? 3/22/2025. It is a Sabado. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Hope y'all are having a day, great weekend, and what a beautiful day it is, right? Hold on. Of course, my computer's going to start going hate on me, so let's. There we go. Okay, so we're live. We got two people and one thumbs. So we got a 50% ratio of people to thumbs. That's not bad. And for all I know, you guys might be like missing some arms or your digits or something. So anyway, okay, now y'all piling in. I know, oh, you probably had to sit through some ads, right? So let's just give y'all a minute to pop in. And glad to see y'all here. Glad to see you. We're going to do some NASA news today. And like I said the last time we did NASA news, it's all good news, ain't it, man? So it looks like NASA has finally got the old shit can, and they're just disassembling the thing piece by piece. And of course, for the consumers out there in the world, they're going to say, "Oh, we're just revamping things." But they've been stealing our money. NASA has been stealing our money, $20 billion a year for a long time. It's more than 20 billion, but whatever. And in my opinion, they've been laundering money and also stealing our money, which, whatever. But to lie to our people about sending lie mobiles into space and lying to our children, Yeshua said it is better to tie a millstone around your neck and jump into the dang ocean than it is to deceive a child, right? And so NASA, the upper echelons of NASA that have been proactively doing this great deception for a long time and taking our money to do it, special place in hell. They need to. They should definitely. I would consider repenting if I was y'all. But that's just me. I'm just a crazy flurfer. So what do I know? Let's get into this NASA news, though, y'all. And let's see who we got here. Can I see some thumbs in the chat? There's 12 of y'all with 3 thumbs. Do me a favor. When you put your thumb up, then put a thumb up in the chat, and we'll see if YouTube is still stealing my thumbs from you. I bet they are, man. Because with a dozen of y'all crazy crackers, I guarantee you got more than 3 thumbs. And I'm going to hold y'all hostage until. All right, no, not really. I'm not going to hold y'all hostage. But I do see we still got Brian Hawk in the house, man. It's good to see a familiar face. So the first article we're going to get into today is going to be from The Guardian. And I would show you pictures, but I'm not set up with my studio or anything. I'm just winging it here, guys. So please forgive me for the lowball technical aspect of the stream here. Anyway, NASA drops plan to land first woman and first person of color on the moon. Oh, that reminds me of a song, dude. Y'all remember Whitey's on the Moon? Oh, bro. I would play it, but then I get a copyright strike on my stream. So look it up. It's a song. It's a live performance called Whitey's on the Moon. And a rat bit my sister Nell, but Whitey's on the moon. It's so funny. You got to hear that. All right, so Promise was central plank. Wait a minute. Promise was central plank to Space Agency's Artemis program, which is scheduled to return humans to the lunar surface in 2027. Sure they are. We believe you, NASA, because you can lie for 50 years and then suddenly one day you're just going to be on that truth tip, right? Okay. NASA has dropped its long-standing public commitment to land the first woman. We can't just have a bunch of whiteys on the moon. The Promise was a central plank of the space agency's Artemis program, Surface 27, for the first time since the final Apollo Lie-Mobile mission in December of 1972. The Artemis landing page of NASA's website previously included the words, quote, NASA will land the first woman, the first person of color, and the first international partner astronaut on the moon using innovative technologies to explore more of the lunar surface than ever before. So it's so funny. Oh, what's up, Mariah Stella? What's up, Allie Davis? How about it, girl? Good to see you there. Paul Patry, thumbs up. All right, man. Good to see you guys. But isn't that funny though? So like NASA, and that just goes to show you the level of creativity that these fucking boneheads have, right? So like they got away with the scam in the 1970s because people were, very trusting of the government back then, right? No, not at all. See, that's what doesn't make sense to me. It's like people that don't trust the government, that hate the government, they hate the Fed, they understand the problem with the taxes and all, the funny money and just the whole Freeman thing. But man, they love them some NASA, bro. They love them some NASA because, see, NASA isn't part of the government, right? Wrong. NASA is under the umbrella of the U.S. military, which is part of the government. So, they're just a bunch of yes men taking orders, compartmentalized. 90% of the people at NASA have no clue what the hell's going on. They just getting their paycheck and probably very smart, very deceived to the toenails people that, and kicking that thing on down the road for our grandkids. So we'll see about it. The Artemis landing page, back to the article here. The Artemis landing page of NASA's website previously included the words, quote, we read this. Oh, so the point was, isn't it funny though? So their creativity is so like, okay, well, we put a bunch of whiteys on the moon and we got away with that for 50 years, but now all these flurfers have been calling us out. What can we possibly do? Well, we can put some gay people on the moon and maybe some colored people on the moon. Can you believe they said people of color? Like, what are we, back in 1940s or something? Wow, dude. And what, like, really, why is that even a thing? Like, it's all pink in the middle, ain't it? So what difference does it make if we send a bunch of, purple people up there? Allegedly, we've already been there, so why do we need to do something that we've conquered and accomplished in the 1970s, which, by the way, they won and done it back then, right? Because you know how that goes. If you're going to fly to the moon for the first time ever, you want to live stream that without the capacity to live stream shit like that from the moon, hypothetically. And one and done it, right? So that way, in case you live stream it and you fail because you've never done this before, you definitely want to have the American people seeing your beloved astronauts turned into like boiling ice on the moon's surface, right? That would be nice. So of course you wouldn't want to live stream that one and done it plan, but yeah, NASA just one and done it, live streamed it, went off without a hitch. But now we have to put some fruitcakes on the moon. Like, doesn't make any sense. And no offense to the gays, I got love for the gays, bro. No homo, but I got love for the gays. But do you really think it's going to change anything by putting more different varieties of people on the moon right? Like, what the crap? Anyway, the version of the page live on the website on Friday, however, appears with the phrase removed. The development was reported by the Orlando Sentinel. Them Orlando boys be on point. They noticed that NASA took that little blurb off their website because I guess they're not going to try to put no gays, women's, and colored peoples on the moons no more. I guess the moon is Whitey's moon, ain't it? Sorry, y'all. NASA's action... Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. So NASA spokesperson Allard Butel, where did they come up with these names, said in a statement emailed to The Guardian, quote, in keeping with the president's executive order, we are updating our language regarding plans to send crew to the lunar surface as part of NASA's Artemis campaign. We look forward to learning more from and about the Trump administration's plans for our agency and expanding exploration at the moon and Mars for the benefit of all, end quote. So I'm willing to bet that there ain't going to be no space agency this time next year. There probably ain't going to be no Department of Education. And maybe we can finally get on our way into the future instead of enriching these fat cat archons who haven't done nothing but steal our money and our energy for like 100 years. Them and their kinfolk. So, those top 1% slackers who have been kept a boot on all of our heads for this whole time? Y'all motherfuckers' time is up, boy. Y'all can suck a bag of baguettes, dog, for real. All right. So, what's up? Whereas I have love for the freaks. What's up, Thomas? V. Thomas, damn right, brother. C. Katzman, Clint Core says, isn't it funny we've never been back to the moon since 1969? Yeah, I know, it is funny. But what's really funny is they accomplished that on 1960s and 70s technology with the computing capacity of way less than a calculator, like a little pocket calculator, right? That's about the computing power they had on the thing. With the power source of a toaster oven, that's what they did up there, yeah. But then, so they solved all those problems and accomplished the moon landings a bunch of times in the 1970s. But then in the 1990s and early 2000s, we have to solve those challenges before we can send people to that region of space because Crickets, right? And of course, as Don Pettit said, we would love to go back to the moon, but unfortunately, we had that technology, but we destroyed that technology. And it's a painful process to bring it back again. Because, that's how technology goes. Like, you invent something, and then it doesn't improve over time as people, get into it and start expounding upon what you've started. No, technology tends to revert back to less complex things that don't function, right? Because that's how shit goes in reality. Of course, NASA, we so totally believe you, NASA. Okay, back to the article. NASA's action in keeping with compliance by numerous other federal agencies that followed orders to remove mentions of DEI programs and initiatives following Trump's second term inauguration on 20 January. And again, pausing from the article, again, I don't have any problems with the gays, but I don't think our sexual preference should be part of our public identity, just in my personal opinion. Keep that shit to yourself, dude. Like, I don't care if you like to stick it in a toaster oven. That's you, bro. Do that in the privacy of your own home. But if you start telling people that we have to start enjoying you and approving of you sticking your thing in a toaster oven, I'm sorry, bro. Like, we don't have to agree with you and your craziness. No offense or anything. And I'm not saying the gays are crazy, but, y'all kind of fucked in the head a little bit because, I'm sorry, man. And I don't mean to judge, but how can you not like, whatever, man. That's y'all, bro. That's y'all. Y'all do y'all. But really, though, do we need to put y'all on the moon with Whitey, too, just so y'all can feel included? Y'all been included, bro. For real. Y'all been included, man. What's up? What's up? Oh, yeah, it's up there. You know where's that, right? Yeah. Nuh-uh. Agencies, including the IRS and National Institutes of Health, took swift action to eliminate policies and funding associated with DEI, which is like, we got to have plenty of publicly, openly gay people in our businesses and make sure that they get into the most important. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm live streaming. What do you want? What do you want? Nothing. Okay, good. Can I do my live stream here? Okay, great. Thank you. Took swift action to eliminate these policies and funding associated with DEI, while the U.S. military followed a presidential order to implement a ban on transgender people from service, a measure temporarily blocked by a federal judge on Wednesday. Now, listen, you guys. Again, I don't have anything necessarily against the trannies or the gays. I do have sort of a unique perspective on the trannies, okay? But the thing is the military is supposed to represent strength, resilience, resolve, fairness, and also teeth, right? And nothing says teeth like a dude dressed up in pink like a chick, right? No, dude. Like, I'm sorry, man. Like, again, this is just my personal opinion, but if you like to dress up like a chick, do that shit in your closet, do that shit out in the open, but you're not going to force us to, you can take it to work, especially not on the battlefield. Is that really maybe an all tranny army would be a great thing because it would scare the shit out of a lot of other armies, dude. You know what I mean? Like, could you imagine? Hey, some of them trannies know how to scrap too, bro. Like, hey, respect the trannies, but you can't force that on people, dog. I mean, could you imagine if we tried to force heterosexuality on y'all? And I know you think that's what people have been doing, but they ain't, man. One love for the trannies. Anyway, bro. The move by NASA is particularly notable because the creation of the Artemis program and the decision to land the first woman and person of color on the moon were made in 2019 during the first Trump administration, according to the science journal Ars Technica. Right, but see, that first time around, Trump said he was going to drain the swamp, and then what he did was, he drained the swamp and took most of them creatures out of there and filled that motherfucker back up with a bunch of worser swamp creatures, like the CEOs of these big, oil companies and stuff. Like, yeah, let's drain the swamp and then put Swamp Thing back in that motherfucker. Anyway, no chance of this thing's getting monetized, but that's cool because I do this for the money. The agency has made strides in recent years to embrace diversity and move away from its reputation as being staffed by old white men. All 12 people who walked on the moon who walked on the moon during 6 Apollo missions between 1969 and 1972 were white men aged between 36 and 47. So wait a minute. So the moon landing would have been more acceptable to the American people if we would have put some like what, gay people and colored people on there. And I'm just using their terminology, but come on, dude, that's absolutely absurd. The first space flight by a U.S. woman did not take place until 1983. See, they're trying to drive wedges in between us. Like any sort of little difference that we have between each other, they want to put wedges in there and polarize us, right? That's all they're on. They're on that divide and conquer trip, dude. That's really what they're on. The first space flight by a U.S. woman took place in 1983 when Sally Ride flew on the space shuttle, the Challenger. NASA's, and you know, the Challenger crash, those people, if you research it, most of them are still alive and well. Most of them did bother to change their name or say that they had a twin, but it's, as far as I can tell, them people are still kicking and have like public jobs and stuff. The first space, we already read this. So, Artemis 3 is scheduled to land on the lunar surface in mid 2027, with its crew yet to be announced. A paragraph on the Artemis website that preceded the removed section about a woman and a person of color continues to state that we are exploring the moon for scientific discovery, technology advancement, and to learn how to live and work on another world as we prepare for human missions to Mars. Ain't gonna happen. You can't travel to the celestial luminaries. You can't leave the face of the earth, man. It's all nonsense. These people are lying their ass off. And the easiest way to prove that is to measure the earth for curvature. There is none. And measure the earth for supersonic axial rotation and orbital trajectories. There is no motion of the earth. The earth is demonstrably and obviously stationary. So that means that NASA has definitely, necessarily been lying their asses off this whole entire time. Okay? So they're not landing on any lunar surface. I don't give a damn how gay or black they are. They ain't going there, bro. They could be, oh my God. Never mind. I'm not going to make any gay jokes, dude. I'm just going to keep that one in my left pocket, bro. Mission Mars. Quote, we will collaborate with commercial and international partners and establish the first long-term presence on the moon. Period. Oh, end quote. By the way, real quick, got to shout out the sponsor of today's show. As always, this stream is brought to you by Flat Earth Farms. Dank so fire, you'll realize the earth is flat. Buy some for your globe-tard friends at select distribution centers in California. And by the way, Daryl, if you catch this one, man, hit me up because that Kiefer Sutherland is on point, but I am all out of the tree, bro. So bless me up, dude. Hit me up. Call me. You got my number. One love, D-Row. All right. Back to it. At first, uncrewed test mission Artemis 1 flew around the moon in November of 2022. Look at all that money they've been wasting. Let's check in on the chat real quick. We're about halfway done with this article. We're going to breeze through it. Brian Hawk, love you, brother. Do you really believe this or are you trolling? Hill Farm videos? No, it's not about belief. Go measure the earth for curvature. And I'm not talking about hills and valleys. Go find you a nice lake and see how curved that motherfucker is over miles and miles and miles. And I'm here to tell you, the curvature necessary to result in an overall sphere doesn't exist. Doesn't matter what you believe or what you think. It matters what you can measure and what you can prove. We're talking about objective reality, man. There is no debate. There's no ambiguity. It's all very much cut and dried. It is objective. Measure the earth for curvature. Measure the earth for supersonic, hypersonic, stupid sonic rotation and orbital motions along 5 different trajectories that are all conflicting and not synchronized with one another. And you tell me how can that behave as a totally fixed frame of reference, a non-inertial reference frame? It can't happen. You cannot have a spinning and orbiting space ball flying in 5 directions at once behave as a non-inertial reference frame. It breaks all the laws of physics. Not to mention thermodynamics when you're talking about the pressurized environment. you're fucked in the head. That's all. Um, yeah, we're preparing for missions, rides to Mars. Maybe in your mind, bro. It's all in your head, NASA. Artemis 2. Wait. Mars. We will quote. Yeah, I did the quote. Okay. So, a first uncrewed test mission, Artemis 1, flew around the moon in November of 2022. Artemis 2, which will take humans to the moon and back without landing, is scheduled for April of 2026. Its crew of four, three of whom have flown to the space before, includes one female astronaut, Christina Koch, and an African American, Victor Glover. I wonder if he's related to Danny Glover. I don't know. Probably so. Huh? He might be the colored American, right? What kind of shit? Why can't you just call him an American? What difference does it make where he likes to stick his thing or what color his skin is? Like, how is that pertinent to any of this shit at all, dude? Like, what you're just trying to like. What it is they're just cottoning to people. They're giving people lip service. They want people to feel included in their space missions, right? Anyway, they want people to identify with the astronauts, the astro liars. The other crew members are U.S. astronaut Reed Wiseman, the mission commander, and Canadian Jeremy Hansen on his first space flight. I wonder if these motherfuckers are all Freemasons, right? No offense to the Freemasons or anything, but it's like this, man. If you swear that oath of fealty, and they are blood oaths, like if you don't capitulate to what the lodge orders, then what? They're gonna, bury you in the sand at low tide until the tide comes in and gets you. They're gonna disembowel you. The punishments get worse and worse and more gruesome as you go up in the degrees. So the thing is, though, unfortunately, you can't trust a Freemason, dude. They are gonna lie to you if they have to, and they have no qualms about it. Okay. And I got respect for the Freemasons, and I mean this in the nicest possible, most endearing way. Fuck you. No, I'm kidding. Whatever. Why can? Oh wait. So I think no. That was the end of the article, wasn't it? Let's see. Not quite. Hey, Mission Mark, collaborate, Artemis 2. Okay, that's it. That's the end of the article. So guess what, you guys? It looks like maybe NASA has finally flown its final Neil Armstrong mission to the moon, dude. No one leaves Earth. That's right, learning time. Coop, I'd rather have a free mission than pay for one. Hey, man, there's a free mission in my pants right now, NASA. Come on and get it. All right. Let me do some shout outs. Or y'all, if you have any comments, you have anything you want me to touch real quick before I go? Learning time, definitely. There's a couple other articles that I can touch on. I've just got a couple things I got to handle today, you guys. And I may be back on later, man. It's good to see you guys. Everything's cool. We're not out of the woods yet. And, I know I be e-begging a lot, you guys, but we are still struggling. We have still not fully recovered after Hurricane Helene. We're trying our best, but it's tough, man. Mina's here with me. She wants to say hi, and everything's doing okay, you guys. But we do need your help. I thank everybody that has helped. We really appreciate you. It's very expensive to dig yourself out of a grave, basically. So you can do PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, and even Patreon. But I haven't even put anything on my Patreon in a few months. I keep on forgetting because even if I put 10 videos up and put them all on Patreon, it's like $20. I lost all my patrons at some point in the past. I'm not exactly sure why. Like I believe there was some kind of a blackball campaign against me, but I can hum the tune. I don't know exactly what it was, but hope we get sober. Me too. Nah, sobriety sucks, dude. No, I mean, you're right. But honestly, sometimes you got to get a head change. At least my opinion. I'm not going to force anybody to get a head change with me, but I'm not going to judge you if you do. Anyway, we're doing okay, you guys. Like, I know y'all do love to judge me and you love to hate me, but I love you guys. I love to love you. And we'll see you in the next one, man. There'll be more coming. We're going to get back on our feet without a hint of bitterness, and one way or other has to have deliverance. One love, you guys. We'll see you in the next one. God bless you. Links are in the description. Please help if you can. We do need your help. And
thanks, guys.
Thank you. Send me a text. If you want to holler at me, just send me a text. And if you just call me, I won't answer usually. But hit me up on text, 864-315.
If you have any questions for me, just go ahead and send them.
Yeah, 864-315. Have any questions for me, go on and send them. That's my number, bro. 864-315-7892. Venmo.com/TheMorgile. Cash.app, $TheMorgile, capital T, capital M. On Venmo, you need the last four of my phone number, which is the 7892. PayPal.me/TheMorgile. Patreon.com/TheMorgile. All this information is in the description. Every little bit helps. If all 45 of y'all gave $1, we could go get something to eat and maybe have a little bit of money left over for a cold beer. I mean, you know how expensive shit is, you guys. Hey, old buddy sent $500 the other day, man. And hey, thank you, bro. You don't understand how much that helps, because honestly, y'all, we lost everything, you guys. I know y'all hear this a lot, and it's coast to coast, man. There's a lot of disasters going on. We got hit with Hurricane Helene at the end of September, and we were devastated, man. I lost everything, and I'm still battling with FEMA trying to get reimbursed for thousands of dollars that I paid into hotels, because my wife is on oxygen. She's got COPD. She has a lot of health problems. And so after the hurricane hit, we burned through all her portable oxygen tanks within a day. And so she had to go to the hospital. Well, she gets to the hospital, and they kept her for 2 nights, and then they run her off because it wasn't a dire emergency, right? Because who needs to breathe, right? You don't need to breathe, you wimp. So anyways, man, I had to put her in a hotel. And see, FEMA told me as long as I was paying for hotels because of the storm, they would definitely reimburse me, because I already had my application in and I was dealing with them. That was in September, beginning of October, when I had that conversation with them. And I probably had 46 conversations with them since then, at least. And here we are still today, and I'm going to appeal with them, and we're into, what are we in? March, end of March. Now, again, I'm not counting on FEMA, you guys, and I know everybody's like, oh, you're sucking on the government teat. No, bro, fuck you, man. We paid into this program our entire working lives. I'm 44 years old, and I started working the day I turned 16. I already had my job lined up. I've been paying into Social Security, into FEMA, all this. Well, I don't know if FEMA was around back then. I guess they probably were. I've been paying into that my whole life, dude, my whole adult working life. Not to mention what they take out in taxes. And so you're going to say I'm on a government tit because I expect a benefit from a fucking program that I paid into my whole life? Dude, y'all on some fuck shit that say that, bro. I lost my ass because of Hurricane Helene. And, you know, I don't want no pity party. I don't need no tears from y'all. But you know what? Judge not lest you be judged, bro. You ain't never walked a mile in my shoes, and I wished you'd try, motherfucker. Wished you'd try. And anybody that's got something to say to me, come say it to my face, bruh. One love, you guys. Hey, man, I'm going to wrap this up. It's starting to get, yeah, we've all paid into Social Security our whole lives. Right. But so when you try to go get your benefit, oh, you're a communist because you want your money back with interest that you paid into? Okay, tell that to the bank when you invest with a bank. Or, you know, oh, so you investors, y'all people that get points on usury, maybe y'all should take a dose of your own medicine, bro. Anyway, I'm not that bitter, but I'm getting pretty jaded, you guys. It's been a tough road to hoe. I believe there is a tide change. The sea has changed. The seeds of truth have been planted into the future, and it's going to be a beautiful thing, you guys. And I just hope I'm around to see it. So y'all be good. Droopy dog, one love. And y'all, please help if you can. We do need your help. And text me, call me, whatever. Y'all know my number. All right, bye. One love.